Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert.
And I'm Erica Botker, AccuQuilt's creativity expert.
Today we're going to show you how to make this super cute Quilt-As-You-Go hanging travel organizer. It's a June Tailor project. It's really easy to make and so much fun.
Oh, I'm super excited about this. Now, everything you need to make this project is included in the kit. Zippity-Do-Done zippers, vinyl sheets, and a pre-printed stabilizer, but you get to pick your own fabric out.
You do. You do. All right, so Erica, before we get started, let's kind of open it up and show everybody what's inside, and then we'll kind of talk about the items we use to kind of help us along the way.
Okay, super.
So you're going to make these fun little ties, and it opens like this.
Ta-da!
So these have zippered pouches, so you could use it for traveling. You know, you and I love to travel.
Yes.
But you could also use it for quilting supplies.
Yeah.
You could put rulers, and you could put notions and those kinds of things
I don't know. I just all in my head, I was thinking travel, but yes, yes, we could do other things with it, Pam.
We can. And then this little pouch, it's made separately, but we're going to show you this super cool trick on how to attach it here.
I love that.
I love this I love the idea of a clear pouch because it lets us see what's inside. And some things that we use to put our bag together, this is our June Tailor basting spray.
Yes.
And we'll talk about this. This allows you to, it's a temporary adhesive that you can spray in your project to allow fabric to stick to the stabilizer.
And if you've never tried this, I use it for so many different things.
I use it for binding quilts.
Well, there you go.
And then our cute little June Tailor glue stick.
The fabric glue stick. Fabric glue sticks are not the same as your regular old glue stick.
Right, and it comes out purple, but it dries clear.
I love that.
And then this is our magic seam wand. And we're gonna talk about the stabilizer and how you don't want to put an iron to it.
Well, and you certainly don't want to put an iron on the vinyl either.
Okay, so this comes already pre-printed, already comes in your kit.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna hold it big so you can see. All right, so this section is the main body of the hanging organizer.
Okay.
This is the handle. You wanna show them the handle?
Oh, the handle, this part has the handle, okay.
And then this is the pouch. And that's the part inside that has the clear.
Yes.
This little part.
This part over here. Okay.
Yeah. And it's all organized. It's all ready for you to do. So what you want to do is you want to separate the sections.
Okay.
So you just take your scissors and you just want to trim, you know, about a ½ an inch or an inch. I try to do an inch. I kind of give myself a little bit of room.
I do too.
Around all of these sections.
Okay.
Okay. And we're going to start with the main body of the organizer.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what we're going to want to do is have that stabilizer printed side up, right? Mm-hmm. And we are going to go ahead and, oh, you pinned this, so you're all ready for us?
Listen, I'm all ready to show you how to do this.
So I'm guessing you used a little bit of our spray basting between these layers.
I did.
Okay.
Yes, and what it does, it allows me to attach that stabilizer to the backing, and I just used a solid, okay?
Right.
And then these are the pre-printed sections, and you'll notice that they are numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
But the first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and with this up, we're going to sew right along that outer line.
Mm-hmm. And why do we want to do that, Erica?
We're going to sew on that so that we can, it's going to help us with aligning everything, and we're going to know where our edges are later on.
Yes, yes. And then we're going to, right here, I'm going to show you how to do this.
Okay.
We're going to stitch right here on this line because that's going to show us where our flap, our little pouch goes.
Okay.
Okay.
Fantastic.
All right. And so I'm going to do that real quick.
All right. Because this way, once we've gotten all of our layers put on and we have it ready to cut out, we can turn it over and we can see where to cut based on that line that we've stitched.
All right. Now let's start and talk about the strips.
Okay.
So I have pre-cut our strips according to the instructions. Of course, we used a variety of strip dies to cut them. So this is the center section, okay? And Erica, we're gonna just use a little glue stick.
Oh, I think that's good.
Yeah, and what I do is I just kind of go like this. It's not very high tech.
Not real scientific
No,
or high tech or anything.
not at all.
And these
why do we
solid
wanna do
lines,
that?
well, these solid lines are our placement lines.
Yes.
And we just want to make sure that our fabric is going to lay flat and not go wiggle wobbling around while we sew our next strips on, right?
Yes. All right. Then we're going to put right sides together. Okay. And this is section number 2. So we're going to put right sides together, and from that placement line, that solid line, I'm going to stitch 1/4 of an inch just down on the batting.
Perfect.
And this is very similar to many of the June Tailor projects that we do.
It is.
The how you put it together. So now look how great this is.
And this is where you can take your magic seam wand, one of my favorite tools, and go ahead and use this to get that nice crisp seam.
So now you're going to do the same thing here with 3. We're going to stitch, and we're going to go all the way to 4, 5, and 6. Now what you want to do is I am just going to use a little glue stick here on the corners and down here.
Oh.
And then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to
Yes.
stitch around that big stitching line like we had.
Again, to make sure everything's anchored down. I love that.
Yeah. Is make sure we got everything.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
We did. And I'm just going to take my scissors now and just trim around. And it's okay if there's a little bit of this stabilizer hanging out because we're going to bind it.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So I'm just going to come right here on this side.
Yes.
So notice we have a little bit of edge here, and that's okay.
Okay.
Because we're going to bind it.
So our next step is actually going to be making that handle.
Right.
So this uses, we had that printed piece on the batting, and it uses a 4-inch by 14-inch piece of fabric. So we're going to use the white print for this, right?
And look, I pinned them all together.
Oh,
so
she's so
we
organized.
we would know what we were doing here.
She's so organized. What Pam's done is go ahead and fold those short ends in and press,
Yes.
and then fold them in, what, 1/2 inch?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Then we're gonna lay the printed stabilizer down in the middle. Oh, first, before you do that, she already pressed it in half.
Yes.
It's important to show, we wanna fold it longwise and press it in half.
And then press it in.
Then press it into the center.
Yes.
Now that that's done, we have to explain that you
Yes,
did it. You were just jumping ahead on
I know.
me.
I was just so prepared here. Okay. It's just so much easier, right?
Yes, yes, it is. Well, and it's all going to go together easily if you press that out ahead of time.
Right.
And then you can fold it in half again.
Right.
And then we want to go ahead. This is like making double fold tape.
Right.
Use pins, use bindy clips,
Yeah.
and go ahead. You've actually nested that stabilizer in there. It's going to make a nice firm handle.
It is.
Without you having to mess with turning a tube of fabric right side out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is kind of tricky sometimes.
So let's look at one that we've already finished.
And then you just top stitch down either side, right?
Yep. So I just started here and I just top stitched. Okay. And now it's nice and firm and it's ready
Yes.
to be added to our bags.
Like
so we're
this.
going to follow the pattern and we're going to measure.
Okay.
We're going to use a ruler and measure. We're not
Measure.
just
Would you
gonna-
like a ruler?
No, we're good. We're good. We're
Okay.
just going to show them how to do it. But the assembly instructions are super great because it tells you how much to come in,
Okay.
right? And then we gave you some options. Like you could make an X here. You could use some grommets.
Oh, yeah.
You could do decorative things, whatever you want to do. And then once you put it in here, then the handle will be attached.
Okay.
Super important to add the handles, the loop, and the ties before you add the pockets.
Oh.
There's a method to our
There is
madness.
a method to our madness. Yeah, I love doing this X, a square and an X,
Yep.
because A, you can do it continuously.
Yes.
And B, it really makes it
Yeah.
stable and tight.
Yeah, and now we have this beautiful tight handle.
Got
Okay,
it.
so now let's talk about the ties, Erica.
Okay.
Same kind of thing, right?
Right.
We're going to follow the pattern.
Right.
Cut the length, cut the width.
And
iron
again,
it.
you're going to fold in those short ends and press
Mm-hmm.
them. Then you're going to fold it the long way, press it in half.
Yep.
Unfold it, press it in. It's that double fold technique
Yep.
again, and then top stitching again.
Yeah.
And we're going to make, we're making two of them because you have to have something to tie together.
Right, but if you didn't want to make ties, you could use ribbons
Right.
or,
Right.
all sorts of fun
Well,
things.
or cam snaps or,
Yeah.
all kinds of things.
I like that, cam snap. So now let's talk about the inside and Zippity-Do-Done zippers. So it has the vinyl and the zippers included.
Yes.
Right?
And the instructions are going to tell you what size to cut the vinyl down to.
Yep. Yep.
What size to cut your zippity-doos
Yep.
to.
Yep. And this one, okay, sometimes you get two, but don't stress because you can just take it off and
Right.
put it back on, right?
Yes.
So let's show you how to add the vinyl to the Zippity-Do-Done zipper.
Oh, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, before we do that, we just need to pause for a minute while we change our thread to black.
All right, so now we're going to show everybody how to use the Zippity-Do-Done zipper and add it to the vinyl pieces, right?
Yes. And here's my trick.
You have a trick?
I do. Watch this.
Oh, yes, this is my trick too.
Yes. I'm going to just add a little bit of glue.
Because here's the thing about sewing with vinyl, and it's not hard to do, so don't be afraid of it, but you don't use pins with it.
No.
Because
why?
if you put a hole in it once, it's going to be there for the rest of eternity.
Forever.
So it's best to use bindy clips, but it's hard to use bindy clips along the way.
Yep.
So just by doing at the beginning, just get
Just
you
gonna
started.
Get me started. And I'm going to come here right close to the edge. Okay? And now see? It's all snug. So now I'm going to add the sections together.
And are you going to glue again?
Yep,
Awesome.
and then I'm going to turn it on this side so I know where my little tiny stitch is. So we're just going to talk about a few little sections, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to follow the instructions. Well, before we do that, we can talk about our loop.
Oh,
Let's show
okay,
'em our
now
loop.
we can talk about
Now
the loop.
we can talk about.
So the loop is made, again, the same way we've done our other things. Did you fold in the edges? But you don't have to because it's gonna go in the binding.
Yeah.
And what this loop is for is to help you hang it when
Yeah.
you're using it. So we're
Yeah.
just gonna sew it into the binding,
and
with the
actually,
binding and
You want
the,
it this way because
Okay.
the loop is going to come up. Okay.
there you go.
All right, and then you're gonna stitch it down, right? And then now we can look at the rest of this, the one that's
Okay.
already finished. Okay,
So so these are the 3 sections that
Yep.
we've made.
Yes.
And if you wanted to, you could add some binding or make some double fold binding to add across this bottom edge.
Right.
But you don't have to.
right. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna stitch down according to the assembly instructions, because this needs to be tucked down. So I just kind of came here again across that zipper.
Okay.
Okay, and then did it for all 3 sections. And then what I did was, you want to make sure once it's stitched down, then you want to come over these zippers.
Oh, so
go
over
back
the
and
end so
forth.
that you don't risk having your
Yeah.
zipper end come
Yeah.
off. So
Yeah.
can I share a little zipper tip?
Tell me.
Okay, so when you're sewing these zippers down, if you're sewing close to your zipper like Pam did, you can sew down this far. I would leave your zipper down here.
Yeah.
Sew down here, then stop with your needle down in your fabric. Take your zipper and move it up.
Yes.
That way you don't have a little bump in your stitching.
Yes, that's a great tip. That's a great tip. All right, now to bind it, what you want to do is you want to use bias binding. And it's going to work best because you're going to go around these curves. So we have purchased some bias tape.
Oh, okay,
Just
so
at the
bias
crafter.
binding does not come with the kit.
It does not.
Okay.
It does not. So we purchased some bias tape to go around the edge, or you could cut bias binding with your AccuQuilt dies, whatever you want to do.
Oh,
but
yes.
this is double fold bias tape, and
Okay.
it just worked easily, and then we could just stitch all the way around just this section.
Okay,
All right, let's move on to the pouch.
the pouch.
I am going to, once again, however, change my thread.
The thread is changed, and
Yes.
next on our dance card is how to make the pouch section of the organizer. This goes on the bottom. So we're gonna be layering main fabric and lining fabric together, right?
Yes, so you want to move that out
I'm
of the way.
gonna move this out of the way, and you are gonna bring this over and show us how, because we are back to some printed stabilizer, right?
Yes, we are back to printed stabilizer, and we always stitch on the broken lines,
Okay,
okay?
so we've got our right sides together.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little unusual, right? We don't usually construct like this.
We don't, and I have a magic thing to
I
show
mean,
you.
we do sew right sides together
Yes.
for lots of things, but not typically with Quilt-As-You-Go,
No.
with this kind of pouch construction.
Right.
So right sides together, and then the printed stabilizer with the print side up, and
Yes.
you've pinned it together,
Yes, and we're just going to go around the edges.
just where on the dotted lines?
Yes.
Okay.
So what you want to do is trim here on this solid line,
Okay, all
Okay.
the way around,
just on the sides.
just on the sides, okay?
Okay, now notice we have the lining or the stabilizer
Right.
right sides together.
Yes.
Okay, now you ready?
Yep,
This is the clear vinyl for the pouch.
okay.
So what you're gonna do, I'm sticking it between the two layers of fabric.
Okay. And you're sticking it in so that the bulk of it is going in towards the
Yes.
inside and the edge is lined up.
Yes,
And so then we could go ahead and
use binding clips.
do a little clippy clip here.
That's exactly what you want to do, is do binding
Okay.
clips there. Then you're going to come along here and sew a 1/4 inch seam,
Okay,
leave the top open,
okay.
and then watch this. We're going to turn everything inside out.
Look at that. Okay.
And so now we have the vinyl, and it's because we put it between the two fabric sections.
Right.
It's now here. So now we can do the same thing here.
And we've done the same
Yes,
thing.
we've stitched
So
along
we've
here.
got our right sides together, and then the bulk of it is going away from your
Mm-hmm.
seam, and we're gonna sew that 1/4 inch. So again,
Yes.
it's gonna be enclosed. Oh, this is
Yes.
so slick.
And then, so now we'll do the ta-da moment, and we'll turn
Okay.
it inside out that way. So I'm gonna trim these little
Are you
edges.
gonna
so we
do a
can-
little clip there
Yeah.
in the corner?
Yeah. And a little clip there.
Okay.
And here's the trick. You wanna make sure the fabrics match,
Yes.
okay? So look, I can just pull this out. It's just gonna pull right out. Look at that.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Use your stiletto. Okay, so you've put a clip here in at each corner.
Yes, to just help keep
Just to
things
help keep things together.
a little flat.
Love it.
So now we're gonna add a Zippity-Do-Done zipper.
Okay.
So we followed the pattern, and we're just gonna do it just like we did before. All right, so we're gonna
do this
glue
again, right?
Glue stick, yeah.
Okay.
All All right, Erica, we're using some bindy clips and we're using some pins.
Right, because right here, we're not worried about the
Vinyl.
We just want to make sure that everything stays tight and together. So we are just fine with using a pin or two if that's helpful for you.
Which I think for me it is. And we've unzipped, right? Because you want to unzip it.
Now, are we going to sew across the ends, or are we going to
I
be...
am going to sew across the ends, and then we're going to talk about how to put this together.
Awesome.
All right. All right, so Erica, I'm going to take just my rotary cutter real quick and
Okay.
trim the edge here.
And just be careful, that isn't, you want to use, if you're using a different zipper, just make sure that it's a nylon one so that you can cut through it. Because if it's a metal one, that doesn't work. You can't sew through it, you can't cut through it.
All right, and now we're going to turn the zipper or the pouch inside out. Okay?
Okay.
So all right, Miss
Okay,
Erica.
so at this point, to finish off our pouch, you want to turn it right sides in,
Turn it inside out.
inside out.
Yes.
And you're going to match these two ends on either side up and sew a 1/2-inch seam.
And we're going to pin it.
So now what we're doing is basically making kind of a boxed side.
Yes.
So we're going to put this together and sew this side together. It's going to fold together.
Yep.
And I'm going to say to go ahead and fold this along the, so that it goes down towards the bottom, not up into the zipper.
Right. And we made sure our zipper was open as we're
Yes.
doing this because
Before we finish sewing it together, you want to make sure that your zipper's open so that you can turn it right side out. So we're going to
With the
finish
big
it off by
reveal.
turning it right side out. And again, we wanted that pretty pink and orange fabric on the outside,
so we could see the flowers on the inside.
Right.
I
like
just-
a little peekaboo. And it's going to zip all the way around. And now what we're left with is going to be sewing this onto our organizer.
Right, so let's just show it here. So remember on our original one, we had that little stitching line,
Right?
right? So now you can take your organizer, your final pouch, make sure it's the right way, line it up on that. I just lined it up on this side and pinned it, and then just stitch right in here.
Oh,
And
okay.
now it's just all
So it's
together.
attached up by the zipper.
Yeah. Look at that.
So can we get our big one over here?
Yes.
And that's going to go right down there.
And it will have the ties and the handle.
Yeah.
And look at how cute this is.
It's super cute.
I love it.
Pam, this is just a great project.
Just a fun project. And it was so fun because I just used scraps that I had in my stash.
Yeah. So again, we've got it. So it all, once, we bound it earlier. It's going to fold up. You can
Yep.
tie it.
Yep.
And you're ready to go. It's
I just love it.
fantastic.
All right, quilters and crafters, be sure and share all your finished projects with us on all of our social media platforms.
Happy travels to you and your new June Tailor travel organizer.